Welcome back. Chad Hymas here. I want to give you a tip this week on hand safety. Let's talk about our hands for a second, something that I think you and I can very easily take for granted because we use them so often and use them so much. Sometimes we forget how delicate they are and we don't take good care of them. But I'm going to ask you, Mr. Cameraman, to come in a little close to my hands. So we got 10 fingers, we got the palm, we got tendons, we got muscle. And you can see how bony my hands are. There was a time that I used to be able to use my hands, and I know what it's like to lose all hands. So for all intents and purposes, my hands have been amputated. Now that doesn't mean that they don't have use for me today, but here are some things that you and I can do to take care of our hands. Number one, let's remember what we use them for. Our hands we use to zip up a zipper. For me, I use my mouth today because the hands don't move at all. They're completely numb. Pick up a fork, button up a shirt, zip up a pair of pants, cut up a steak, put the worm on the hook to go fishing, starting up a car, playing a little bit of catch with your children or your grandchildren, holding your wife's hand and being able to grip. All that is gone, and I don't share that with you for empathy. I share that with you to remind you that as you're working out amongst pinch points, working with tools, working in areas where we have heat pressure, working with hydraulics and high PTO, that you remember to try and avoid areas with moving parts. If you have to work with areas that involve moving parts, put up safety shields and safety guards, and remember what you're robbing yourself of if you choose to not put up those guards. I think if you and I think about the hands and how important they are to the body. One of the most delicate and one of the most important parts of the human body, the hands. You and I will take care of them. That's why I do the best I can to take care of my fingernails. I do lotion up, but I don't lotion up regularly because I want some rough skin right here so that it enables me to push. But I want to show you something. When I push on my chair, very seldom do I push on the grip of the tire, although I use them for grip. I use the rings because it's safer for my hands. It's much more safe. And I do use gloves on a regular basis. So let's remember the importance of hand safety. Let's take care of all 10 fingers. And if you want to see what it's like to go without, just duct tape up your hands together and see what it's like. Eat with your hands duct taped together, or put on a glove and duct tape all your fingers together. If you want to know what it's like to miss a finger, tape 2 or 3 of your fingers together and try and do a simple task like brushing your teeth with just 2 fingers. You ought to teach your kids that. Do an experiment with your kids or your coworkers where they have to tape up their hands or tape up their fingers and let them try and do their job or do a simple task without the use of their hands. I promise you they'll take their hands in a much more caring manner. They won't take them for granted. Until next week, roll with safety.